victory. Welcome into What's Your Beef Wednesday edition of the Morning Rush. Maybe you got some beefs from the basketball game, but at the end, you came out on the high side, which is a good thing. We're going to talk about it with Dave O'Brien coming up. He was on call for the game last night for ESPN2. He's been around a long time. I think he's been doing things for ESPN since like 87, calling basketball, calling football, doing some Red Sox stuff for other outlets. So we're going to talk to Dave coming up momentarily, and we're also going to get into the college football playoff, which that is a worthy beef, I think, with some of those rankings last night.
It is a What's Your Beef Wednesday. It is brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. We've gotten through Thanksgiving. Now we need to think about the Christmas meals, the Christmas parties, the gatherings. Richard's can be the hero again this holiday season to make it stress-free. 479-443-0000. They'll have it all ready for you for your holiday feast. They'll have the sides. They can do deli trays, homemade desserts like pies, cookies, and banana pudding. What would you give right now for about a half a red Solo cup of banana pudding to munch on here during the show, just like Grandma used to make? 479-443-0000 for Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville.
To be in the quarterfinals, you have to win your conference championship game. So how we're doing it is the highest-ranked teams from the conference at the moment. That would give Oregon, Texas, SMU, and Boise State first-round byes. Arizona State, the highest of outside the top 12, but the fifth highest ranked champion. They get in automatically. They would play at Penn State. Ohio State would have a home game. Notre Dame and Georgia, under the current scenario, would play a home game. And look at that potential for a third Georgia-Texas matchup if that were to be unveiled like this. Indiana at Georgia. Oh, Alabama and Notre Dame, the first year of the expanded playoff. Tennessee at Ohio State. Arizona State at Penn State.
This is the opening drive presented by First Financial Mortgage in Fort Smith.
So what do you think? Is Alabama the third and final worthy SEC team to get in? Because it's not going to change. When we heard the college football playoff chairman or commissioner, whatever you want to call him last night, say it's not going to change. So I guess Alabama's heading to South Bend unless something wild happens in conference.
Well, I mean, and things could still happen because here's the one. If Clemson beats SMU, SMU's getting in, right? So, I mean, there's still some jockeying around and things that can happen based on what if UNLV beats Boise State? I think only one of those two will get in.
You think SMU gets in with two losses at 8? Right?
That's what you said. Only one of those two.
Oh,
I think
you said
only one of those
okay.
two get in. But that
I thought you said.
I
thought SMU gets in. Sorry.
No.
Brain's not
No,
working.
I don't think both. I think the winner of that game's in, the loser's out. So, I mean, it is not set. So, when you look at that potential bracket, it says SMU on there. And, I mean, for the true diehard Razorback that always roots Razorback, I mean, you got Rhett Lashley on one side and you got Barry Odom on the other in that game. So, there's a lot of intrigue for me in that Mountain West game. Probably the most interested we've ever been in the Mountain West. But, hey, it's good. From an Arkansas standpoint, as we heard from Brett McMurphy 24 hours ago, in this very moment of the morning rush, it is good for Arkansas if Bama gets in because it moves you up a notch in the quality of the bowl, and you could potentially, as he reported yesterday, get to Houston in the Texas Bowl versus likely Birmingham or the Gasparilla Bowl. That's actually in St. Pete's, not Tampa, right? I believe that's right.
I think you're correct.
You could elevate your bowl position. I would much rather be playing deep in the heart of Texas, closer to your recruiting grounds than somewhere in Alabama or Florida for just recruiting from a recruiting standpoint.
That's a good point.
Ease for the fans. I mean, there's a lot of benefits to being in Houston versus Birmingham or what is a Gasparilla? So,
and with that being said, it is National Signing Day. We are going to, you mentioned recruiting. We are going to talk with Richard Davenport coming up in just a bit. If you have a question for Richard,
and apparently Coach is going to talk this afternoon. I don't know if it's from, the hospital bed or if he's going to be back at home. I guess we'll get a little bit of an update on how he's doing.
And we'll jump more into the college football playoff. That's just a quick little start as we get going this morning. That is your opening drive. It's brought to you by Ethan Adamson and his team at First Financial Mortgage. Whether it's him, Emily, their entire team, they're going to take care of you like they did with me. He's been with the company for over 10 years. He's a whale of a mortgage lender, and he's also, as Tommy told you earlier this week, an incredible golfer. I had a great experience with him, always have fun with him on the golf course, and he does a great job job, not just for me, but just check out his Google reviews. Over 300 5-star reviews. He's the best lender in town. So if you're starting your first-time mortgage or you're in the process of trying to think if you refinance or not, Ethan's the guy to call. 479-782-9300 or go online to ffb1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
He gets in. The big right-hander. Benoit delivers. Swinging a high deep drive to right field. That one's stalled to the right. Hunter on the move. Racing back. It's over his head. It's gone. It's into the bullpen. This game is tied. This game is tied. David Ortiz. David Ortiz. David Ortiz. Torrey Hunter went up against the wall, running pell-mell up against the fence, and then went tumbling into the Red Sox bullpen as David Ortiz has sent Fenway Park into a state of delirium. Bland gave off the pass, loose on the deck. Theo scoops it up. 1:48 to go. Here's the jumper. Got it! The youngster from the corner knocks it down. Blackman off the inbounds. Can't hit it. And that's going to go out at the buzzer. That is the ball game.
Richard Davenport coming up, brought to you by Oaklawn Sports. If you haven't downloaded the Oaklawn Sports app, be sure and do that. Conference Championship weekend coming up. All the playoff implications are on the line. New customers get a $1,000 bonus bet, $100 for the first 10 days if your first bet doesn't work out. It's all with the best sports betting app, the one you trust, the name you know. Oaklawn Sports, bet with Oaklawn Sports.
Speaking of the best, we got the best this morning. Dave O'Brien, you heard a couple calls there. Dave, I'm jealous because I hadn't been Fenway. I know you've been many a times. Tommy, I don't know if you know, we're in the presence of the guy that called Barry Bonds' 756 home run that eclipsed Hank Aaron back in the day.
Let me put my seatbelt on.
Yeah,
for,
buckle up. Buckle up for the next 10 or so minutes. Dave, appreciate you making some time for us this morning. Let's go back to last night. Boogie Flan, we played the call of your call of him hitting that big shot last night. What's his ceiling as a true freshman with this Arkansas basketball team?
Well, Tommy, great to be with you guys. I can't quite bring myself to get on the plane and leave Miami and go back to Boston. So I'm still here in Miami. It's like 73 degrees here. But the ceiling's really high. I think Jim Larinaga put it right on the money after the game when he said, Boogie Fland is a pro. And when you watch him operate in late game situations like that, and, I know he hasn't looked much like a freshman, and I find that amazing, these kids today, that they come in, McDonald's All-Americans like him, and they hit the floor running, and they just look like they've been playing for 3 or 4 years. They look like pros. But, the way he handled the last couple of minutes of that game is exactly what you need your lead guard to do if you want to, try to go to a Final Four. And this is the kind of kid, if he hangs around and continues to play at this level, that shot he made from the corner, that's a big boy play. We all know that. If you're willing to take that shot in a game like that, you've been trailing all night, you're a little bit different. You're a cut above.
Yeah. So let's talk about that play, because I wanted to bring that up. We know about the jumper he hit kind of from the elbow near the free throw line with 54 seconds. Let's go to the play you're discussing, the corner three, because he dribble penetrates, kicks to Thiero, and Dave, he kind of just, I don't want to say it's a hideout play like in football, but he kind of just got lost on the baseline. Everybody lost him. The defenders all sucked in the other way, and then he's wide open for the pass in the corner. I don't know that he intentionally decoyed, but if you go back and you look at that play, just kind of him pausing for a minute, the defenders lost him, and that's what left him wide open.
I think that's exactly what happened. We had an unusual broadcast position for that because we were on the opposite side of the floor we typically are, which meant we were right behind Cal. We were right behind the Razorback bench, pretty much, a little bit closer to midcourt. And he did. He faded off into the corner, almost like, hey, just forget about me for a minute. It's going to be, Thiero going after the basket or whatever. And all of a sudden, he's wide open. I thought they let him loose a couple of times. If Miami played that game again, they would play it very differently. He would be a center focus defensively, but they let him loose on that play. And look, you can take that shot and miss it, and nobody blinks, right? But when you take it and hit it, now you've elevated yourself, not only in the eyes of your teammates, but everybody else.
Yeah, and then he goes down and gets the rebound after the missed layup, and you need all three of those, You need the 3, the rebound, and the shot with 54 seconds, or Arkansas likely doesn't win. You need all 3 of those.
Yeah. After the game, talking with some Arkansas fans who were there and a couple of the coaches, everybody felt that was a must-win for Arkansas, that they could not afford to go into that building against that Miami team and come away with a loss. And that tells you a lot, too. There's some character building going on there. Calipari and Larinaga both had workouts yesterday, and they both said the exact same thing. We are coaching more than we ever have before with all the new faces. The terminology is completely different. The hand signals and everything you verbalize is completely different from what these kids have known before. There's so much of that going on right now. I think when you win a game like that, it pulls everybody together.
We're talking with Dave O'Brien. He was on call for ESPN2 last night, ESPN ACC Network, play-by-play broadcaster. Dave, SEC dominance last night. Kentucky's the only team that lost. I know you've got some ACC roots. I was shocked to see that. What was your takeaway from what happened last night?
Well, when that game ended, Arkansas-Miami, I thought, what, is the SEC going to run the table on this entire event? And it was only half-kiddingly. And then Kentucky lost the game. But they're going to dominate the whole thing. It's clearly the best conference in college basketball today. I don't think it's that close. Alabama, Texas A&M, Tennessee, Auburn, and Arkansas is a very good basketball team. They're going to be back in the top 25. There is a pretty big gap right now. And yeah, there's some really good teams in the Big 12. There are a couple of really good teams in the ACC, but the class of college basketball in a runaway. And Auburn has been the stamp on that because of what they did at Maui, to go in and beat those teams in Maui. Now, of course, their gift for that, as we joked last night, was they get to go to Cameron Indoor. Like, thanks very much. But they could go and win that game. They could seriously go in there and beat that Duke team. I think Duke will win that game, but I wouldn't be shocked at all if Auburn came out of there with the win. So right now, the SEC's head and shoulders above not only the ACC, but everybody else.
So, Dave, what has changed? Because it wasn't that many years ago, Ty and I were sitting in these chairs wondering, hey, can the SEC get maybe 5 in the tournament, looking like 4? And now we're sitting here discussing legitimately the SEC's the best conference in basketball. What, in your opinion, has been the catalyst to the elevation of this league? Because, clearly we're having different discussions now versus 3 or 4 years ago.
I think it's the caliber of coaches and their ability to draw players to their programs, because you can remake a program in a year and become a premier power. You can become at least one of the top, 5 or 6 best college basketball teams in the country. And they're able to do that. And that's happened. Look at what Pearl has done at Auburn. And, it's not the same kids as a year ago. Look at what Louisville did in the Bahamas. I mean, they went down there and everybody had them counted out immediately. They wound up playing for the championship and almost won it. And that's been a program in a shambles for the last 2 or 3, 4, 5 years. And it's simply the case of a good young coach, a good coach coming in and remaking the program in the portal, getting transfers, getting kids to believe in you, even if it's for only a year. And that's often going to be the case. But college basketball has changed dramatically. The whole face of it and how you build a program bears no resemblance to when I was younger and you could count on guys being in your program for 3 and 4 years. Those days are over. And you're recruiting other guys' players while you're trying to keep your own guys in your program for at least another year or for the entire season in some cases. So it's a completely different game, and the smart coaches are doing it, and there are a lot of really smart coaches in the SEC.
Dave, we kind of opened the show this morning talking about the college football playoff rankings. I know you were mid-broadcast last night when you came out, and I know you're a Syracuse alum, which we could talk about in just a second. I got a big-time win this weekend, but any thoughts on the rankings that we have in front of us that, unless something wild happens this championship weekend, aren't going to change?
I don't know about changing, but I do have 2 kids in my household, one who went to Georgia and one who went to Alabama.
Wow.
and my roots are actually in the SEC because I was a young broadcaster sitting next to Larry Munson at the University of Georgia many, many years ago doing Georgia stuff. You're darn right. You hairy dogs. I mean, it was just so much fun, and that was my entree. I came down from New England and didn't know college football. because we don't, it's not a big deal in New England. I came down to Athens, Georgia, and walked into Sanford Stadium the first time, and I was like, I could not believe it. Couldn't believe it, and it hooked me immediately. So my house is rough. Everybody, the weekends are tough. when those two teams play, my wife and I can't even be in the room. But
is someone stepping on someone with a hobnail boot?
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's only like 15 of those.
Oh my God!
But
the best.
It's tough. But I mean, that's where our roots are. So obviously, I root for the SEC when it comes to football every single day, and I think the fact that Alabama is still in there is kind of amazing to me. I watched all of the Georgia overtimes the other day against Georgia Tech, and they needed every one of them, and finally won that thing. So all I know is this: I don't know who the national champion is going to be, but would it shock me if that team came out of the SEC? Absolutely not. This year, it feels like to me the national media has tried to push away with a Heisman push the SEC. And I don't understand that. It's the toughest conference in America every single year. Every week is brutal. If you have 2 or 3 losses, that doesn't mean you're not the best team in college football. So I think this year has been sort of a bias against the SEC, like, oh, we're tired of it. We've had enough of it. Well, that's too bad. Go out and recruit and get better players the rest of the country. That's the way I look at it.
So your two kids teams are in. Your alma mater had the biggest comeback in program history. So the O'Brien household, I would say, was quite happy when it came to their college football. Plus, both those teams won their overtime games this weekend. Again,
and by the way, thank you so much for playing the David Ortiz highlight from the playoffs in 2013. We haven't had a lot of moments like that with the Red Sox. Not since 2018, anyway. So I really appreciate it.
We've got a team member here, Dave, that is a giant Boston Red Sox fan. Fenway is on both Tommy and my bucket list. Just give us a sense what it's like to be in that venue for a game.
Well, first of all, please let me know if you're coming and you want to come. You want to plan something, and I've got 4 tickets for you. Any game you want to come on up and coming up to the booth and say hi. But I was born and raised there, and I had no choice in it because my dad was a Sox fan. That meant I was going to be a Red Sox fan. And, he didn't do me any favors there for like the first 35 years of my life because we had so many tragic losses. But it's amazing. It's an incredible venue. When you walk up to it and you start to hear the crowd building and the buzz around Fenway, which is like no other place because it's nestled into a neighborhood. It's right in the middle of a neighborhood. So when you come up to it, it almost catches you by surprise. And, you hear the vendors, hawking stuff and, the popcorn and, people are, hawking sausage and hot dogs. But when you get inside, what's going to shock you guys is just how small it is, how intimate it is. It feels like you've walked into a baseball museum. And that's exactly what it is. But that wall, when you see the monster for the first time, it'll stun you just how close it is. You'll fall in love with it, I guarantee it.
It will stun you how much we're going to take you up on your offer of those tickets. That's what's going to stun you.
Oh, man.
You got to come up. You got to come. I'd love to have you guys and show you around the ballpark, and maybe we can sneak you inside the Green Monster to sign an autograph.
That sounds awesome. Dave, before we let you go, we got about 30 to 45 seconds. We mentioned I couldn't find like a great audio clip of Hank Aaron's call, but, I mean, you're always calm, cool, and collective. Were you nervous when, and I say Hank Aaron, with Barry Bonds, were you nervous in that moment when he hit 756 home runs?
Yeah, you know what was interesting about that was the rest of the country really didn't care. And that was on ESPN, and I'd been following him all week. That nobody really cared that much because of all of the bias against Bonds, which he deserved, with everything that he had done to get to where he was. And so everyone was indifferent to it. So I think that kind of, in a way, made us feel like, look, let's play it down the middle. Let's let posterity determine whether Barry Bonds is, where he stands among baseball icons. So I thought the call that I gave was not over the top. It was not. Now, David Ortiz was the one you guys play was a different story. That's my team. I lost my mind on that. I couldn't believe he did that. Even David Ortiz, because he did that sort of thing quite a bit. But, in the Bonds case, it was sort of let's make sure we get the facts right. Let's document this and get out of the way and let America determine what they think about Barry Bonds.
David's 31 in Boston. Maybe stay in Miami a few more days. Appreciate you joining us, man.
All right, Tommy. Thanks, guys. A pleasure. We'll see you at Fenway.
Thank you. Dave O'Brien. He was on the call last night for ESPN, one of the best in the business, and good to chat with him about the Razorbacks in Miami last night and a few other things going on around college football and beyond. We're brought to you by Farm Credit. Farming and ranching is a lifestyle like no other, and it's good to know that Farm Credit of Western Arkansas has been there to help you get through the good times and the ones that might be a little tougher. Log on to myaglender.com or drop by any of their 26 local offices for the assistance you need from sunrise to sunset with Farm Credit of Western Arkansas.
I think the question we have to ask ourselves now, if Dave is offering us 4 tickets, does Zach get one of those tickets?
Lord, no.
That's the only Red Sox
That would mean
fan
he has to go on the trip with us.
on the radio station. Really appreciate that. Was great stuff. Great stuff from Dave this morning. Hog update coming up. Arkansas wins 76-73 last night. What did your head coach John Calipari think about it? We'll hear from him next on the Morning Rush.
What's Your Beef Wednesday is brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. Online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is Robert, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole. I should say it?
Say what?
Mom, I think he wants to say that it's Christmas time.
Okay, you can say it.
It's Christmas, everyone, and guess what, guys?
What?
Santa shop's here at the Stadium Shop. Oh, Lord, Mom, here comes that dad side. Nope, I saw him, Matt. You still do believe in Santa, right? Sure. Believers do get more presents.
Okay, so what did he get?
Let me guess. A couch for the elves, collars for the reindeer, maybe even a hoodie for Frosty. You know how cold he gets being made of snow and all.
And let me guess, some Razorback jewelry for Mrs. Claus?
Well, yeah, Matt, you better get that Google machine all warmed up. He said he was going to be ordering some more stuff.
Google machine?
Yeah, you know, the Interfacegram www. I think he's talking about our website, which you should know by now, Dad. It's shoponrazorback.com.
Or have Santa give us a call at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
So come by 989 South Razorback Road in Fayetteville, and you just might catch Santa Hog. Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us. Ho, ho, ho.
I am going to have fun.
This is the Morning Rush.
Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients better lives with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, now offering same-day crown service. Mention you heard this ad on ESPN Radio at your next appointment and receive a free bleaching kit or $100 off in-office accelerated whitening. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Swing into savings this Christmas at the Golf Nut with these unbeatable offers. TaylorMade Q I-10 woods and irons up to $100 off. Ping G430 driver, only $399. And Callaway AI smoke driver, now only $499.99. Lessons are always a great idea for your golfer. Contact Matt Brooks to set up an appointment. Give the gift of a better game this Christmas at the Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith. Shop now and make this season a hole-in-one.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Looking for a healthcare provider that truly listens to you? At Elite Wellness and Aesthetics, their team of nurse practitioners offer personalized healthcare with their in-house labs. Get fast results. Elite Wellness goes beyond just treating symptoms. Their holistic approach addresses the root causes of your well-being. Whether it's preventative care, illness, or exploring natural treatments, your health journey begins with Elite Wellness and Aesthetics. Call 479-242-9355 for your appointment or visit fortsmithelite.com. Elite Wellness and Aesthetics, getting to know you inside and out.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're needing a used car, we've got them. Everything from the most affordable cash cars to road-ready certified with warranty. The best used cars your money can buy. And we've got a finance option for everyone, whether you have great credit and you're looking for the best rate or you're needing to build your credit with a reputable lender. We've got you. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath.
Unto us a child is given, and his name shall be Wonderful, Counselor, Emmanuel, God with us. Mike Blaylock with Blaylock Heating and Air Conditioning and Plumbing Services. From all of our families here at Blaylock, we would like to wish you and your family a very, very Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous New Year.
You never know what you will walk up on or find over the hill at the Tackle Box. For almost 50 years, the Tackle Box has been your home for hunting and fishing supplies and some of the best outdoor stories. Whether guns, ammo, fishing supplies, or home decor, come back and see them again. They even buy your old fishing tackle or guns. The Tackle Box, your sports store for hunting, fishing, firearms, and more. 3001 0 Street, Fort Smith, 646-3193.
The adventure starts at the Tackle Box for sportsmen just like you.
Looking to protect yourself and your family this flu season? Law's Drug Store at 6802 Rogers Avenue offers the latest vaccines for adults and seniors in both COVID-19 and the flu. Law's Drug Store has friendly pharmacists ready to assist you with no appointment necessary. Call 452-6116. It's quick, it's easy, and in most cases, free with your insurance. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Open 6 days a week to care for you and your family.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey.
Yes, sir.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
Chasing the 870 with the straightforward text. Guys, it's National Signing Day. I don't think anyone else cares about anything outside of Arkansas football recruiting, so we'll start there. Chase,
I didn't even know it was.
Just for you. It is weird. You always talked about, Tommy, the first Wednesday in February.
February used to be like a holiday.
Yeah, you know, and you do it up and down all day
early
long.
Signing periods changed all this stuff.
Yeah, so the ones that I would say people are wondering about, Tavian Wallace, who I think he recently took a trip to Florida State. You're wondering about the best recruit in your class. In fact, on 24/7 Sports, he's only 4-star in this class. He is stuck with Arkansas. Signed this morning. I don't think, at least according to Arkansas's Twitter, I haven't seen Grayson Wilson's signature yet. We can talk with Richard about that coming in about 30 minutes. But I think those are the two. If you had two players, I think those are probably the two most known in this recruiting class.
You know, and what's more interesting to you out there? I want some text on this as part of the Hog Update. Are you more interested in National Signing Day and who those players are going to be coming from high school? Or are you more interested in the portal and who's leaving the program, like a Malachi Singleton? We hadn't really gotten into a lot of that conversation. Who might be coming from another SEC school? What interests you most?
The portal may be more.
The portal, I think, is more interesting today. And the portal has clearly, Big C, put a shadow, cast an even bigger, longer shadow on top of National Signing Day.
The portal, I think, would be more, beneficial to your team and more important probably. But I still like when, high school kids sign. I just think it's cool. And there's always a chance that they can still help you out.
The portal's more of an immediate fix. There's instant.
Yeah.
There's
instant
gratification. Of instant gratification. Hey, this guy can help next year. High school players, it's a grab bag. A very small handful can. Most have to redshirt, get physically prepared to help you in the future. It's a long-term play.
So it's the equivalent.
Portal's a short-term play.
So I'm trying to think.
I think that's why I'm more excited about the portal and more nervous and anxious about who might leave and who's going to stay and those things. National Signing Day has lost a lot of the luster for me.
Derek in Fayetteville says he's more interested in the portal. Chasen Van Buren also says the portal. He also adds that a year from now, those high school recruits may very well be in the portal.
And that's why, if you have an in-state recruit, you lose. And Matt Jones on halftime and he's right about you can't lose the best players in your state. But now with the portal, if a player goes somewhere else, there's a and I'll just use it as an example. The Lindsey kid, Drake Lindsey from Fayetteville, went to Minnesota. I don't think he's ever leaving Minnesota, but there's a kid that got away from you.
Boat.
Things change.
I think it's still important.
There's now a path back, is what I'm saying. So not all is lost when a kid leaves your state anymore, nor is the fact that a kid comes to your school mean he's always going to stay.
I think it's still important for depth, and you may not hit on every guy in the portal, too. So, I mean, just having some quality guys out of high school that can maybe develop, but I know developing is rare nowadays.
I just don't think signing day. Well, we know signing day isn't what it once was as far as media attention.
Well,
as far as fan interest.
Like Christian just said, he didn't even know it was today.
Well,
I did when I heard on the show, but no, I didn't wake up knowing.
But okay, so let me ask: do you know when the portal opens?
Is it? Well, it used to be closer. It's right at it's.
But that's what I'm saying.
The Sunday. I don't know. It's the 8th. It's following the championship.
It opens Monday.
Okay, Monday.
So that's
I knew it was after the championship. I thought it opened at maybe it's midnight.
There's
Sunday.
misnomers, and there's it's not as you just knew back in the day. Wednesday, first day of February, National Signing Day. But there's more because it's been diluted, and there's different other transactions nowadays. It's just not the same. Not that
there's other ways to get your players.
Yes, correct.
Line.
All right, that is your Hog Update this morning. It's brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Arkansas basketball again wins 76-73 last night. We'll talk more about that coming up. We'll hear from John Calipari as well. Tommy, on the college football playoff side of things, again, it's a beef of mine this morning. It's going to be a theme, honestly, because I just can't. I look at the playoff projection from a bracket standpoint, it doesn't look right at all. When you just look at something, you just shake your head. That's what I've been doing for the last
the rankings
12 hours. The bracket.
I think we got to really separate those two conversations because to me, one of the first fixes the committee has to make is the rankings and the bracket should be almost identical, but they're not. So, that's a different conversation. But, yeah, and you got to assume based on the bracket that they project last night, is SMU going to beat Clemson? Okay. Is Boise State going to beat UNLV? So there's some things when you look at that bracket that good chance it doesn't, or there's at least a reasonable chance and a reasonable conversation it doesn't turn out that way.
We're going to hear, again, more from the commissioner of the college football playoff later on in the program, and I want to hear what you think as well. Brennan Searcy's called in. We'll get to his call coming up. But if you have got thought on either what you saw last night in Coral Gables, the college football playoff, if you're watching it simultaneously on ESPN, or if you have a beef, jump in with us this morning at 877-377-6963. We are brought to you this morning by Rath Auto Resources and Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. Always good catching up with both David and Larry throughout the week. And when you go to, how you sometimes go to a franchise or something and one location is different from the other? Well, when you go to both Rath Auto Resources and Rath Mitsubishi and you stop by the Meineke Car Care Center, you're going to get the same great service and experience at both places. And if you're following them on social media, like you did recently with Rath Auto Resources, they're always giving away gift cards. They gave $250 Harps gift card recently on social media. So make sure you're keeping up to date on what's going on at both locations, Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith and Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale.
All right, we'll have more coming up. It's a What's Your Beef Wednesday brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville, 479-443-0000, Richard's Country Meat Market.
Corner plan for three. It's good. First lead of the night, 74-71 with 1:42 to go.
This is the Morning Rush.
if I had something to say.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is Robert, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole. I should say it?
Say what?
Mom, I think he wants to say that it's Christmas time.
Okay, you can say it.
It's Christmas, everyone, and guess what, guys?
What?
Santa shop's here at the Stadium Shop. Oh, Lord, Mom, here comes that dad side. Nope, I saw him. Matt, you still do believe in Santa, right? Sure. Believers do get more presents.
Okay, so what did he get?
Let me guess, a couch for the elves, collars for the reindeer, maybe even a hoodie for Frosty. You know how cold he gets being made of snow and all.
And let me guess, some Razorback jewelry for Mrs. Claus?
Well, yeah, Matt, you better get that Google machine all warmed up. He said he was going to be ordering some more stuff.
Google machine?
Yeah, you know, the Interfacegram WW.
I think he's talking about our website, which you should know by now, Dad. It's shoponrazorback.com.
Or have Santa give us a call at 479 Stadium. That's 479-782-3486.
So come by 989 South Razorback Road in Fayetteville, and you just might catch Santa Hog.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us. Ho, ho, ho.
Hey, this is Landon Jackson, and you're listening to ESPN Arkansas.
Christmas shopping is easy at Jelco Outdoors with so many great gift ideas for those on your shopping list. Save 25% off all Yeti and Yukon Outfitter ice chests, coolers, tumblers, and cups. A large selection of the footwear and clothing for work to the woods. Archery, hunting, and fishing gear for those that enjoy the great outdoors. If in doubt, a Jelco gift card is always a perfect fit. Jelco Outdoors, your one-stop Christmas shopping destination store. Shop local. Shop Jelco Outdoors in Fort Smith. And Merry Christmas from Jelco Outdoors.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're needing a used car, we've got them. Everything from the most affordable cash cars to road-ready certified with warranty. The best used cars your money can buy. And we've got a finance option for everyone, whether you have great credit and you're looking for the best rate or you're needing to build your credit with a reputable lender. We've got you. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson. We're at Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith. Aaron, what's going on this month?
We have new Polaris units on our lot, such as the Ranger XD 1500, the Sportsman 6x6, and the Razor Pro S. We have discounts here for the 2024 Polarises that have up to $6,000 off the original price. If you guys have any questions, call me or text me at 479-783-5822.
Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Hey River Valley, Yeager's Ace Hardware is now open at 942 4th Street in Bartley. Conveniently located minutes from Fort Smith and Chaffee Crossing, Yeager's is your locally owned hardware and lumber store. Come by and visit with your Yeager's experts today and check out our new space packed with all of your hardware essentials. Open 7 days a week, the folks at Yeager's Hardware are committed to serving the River Valley for all of your home improvement and hardware needs. Yeager's, real help, real savings.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
COP CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050. COP CDL Academy.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Time for the Carpat Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's place in Lowell online at carpatsocial.com.
So Arkansas gets the win over Miami last night, who has, what's it, 3-5 record now, I think, after the loss.
5 straight.
So how excited should Arkansas or fans be? How excited should fans? Forget about the team, how they process things, their own business. Us out here discussing last night.
Relieved.
Relieved's a good word. Dave O'Brien described it, and I heard Chuck talking about it earlier this morning, as some felt it was a must-win. I think it's more of a can't lose. I don't think you can have must-wins in December, but in college basketball. But how do you feel this morning? Because I don't think we should be getting overly excited about beating my Miami team. Matt Jones last night on Hog Reaction was listening to you guys and said, hey, Miami's not going to be a tournament team. He's probably right in a league like the ACC. I think he's correct in that. So how tempered should we be about our response to a win last night over a brand name in Miami, but not necessarily a great basketball team in Miami?
Well, when you see Jim Larinaga and that he's close to Cal in terms of all-time wins, you think, all right, this is a really good coach, which you'd be right in that.
Well,
but
2 years ago or 3? You're better with timelines when they were in the
Final Four.
Yeah, it was 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah, because that was the same year that John L. Davis and FAU were in there. So he's taken a couple teams to Final Fours in Miami and George Mason, but this is not one of his good teams. They weren't good last year. Previous to the Arkansas loss, they lost to Charleston Southern by 4. I think that game was at home as well. So, like Matt said last night, this is probably not going to be an NCAA tournament team. Probably going to be a bottom feeder, unfortunately, in the ACC or a mid team in the Atlantic Coast Conference. So, no, you shouldn't be that excited. The relief is the term I like because I told everyone, and first off, Arkansas didn't cover last night, so if you bet on Hogs, you didn't win any money, but they won. That's the most important thing.
What was the line? I never looked.
I think it was like 5.
5 hours?
Oh, yeah. But I genuinely thought when Boogie missed both of those free throws, and he had a really good game last night, 4 of 9 from 3, nearly 20 points. But when he missed both those free throws last night, I got tired. I was like, they're gonna can of 3 like they've done a good chunk of this game.
Not a must win, but it was a can't lose last night. I'm going to tell you, go back to that play I brought up with Dave. I was rewatching the last 10 minutes or so again this morning. He dribble penetrates, kicks to Thiero on the left wing in front of the bench, and then his momentum carries him out of bounds. And he just kind of pauses and watches. I don't know that it was intentional. I don't think it was necessarily designed that way, but it worked. I mean, I don't know. It'd be an interesting question for Cal, and I didn't hear that addressed. Everything defensively, all of the other, 9 players on the floor move towards Thiero, who skips it right over to the corner, and he nails the 3. Now, none of that's even a conversation if it doesn't go in, but it went in. And the fact that he just kind of got lost down there, I referenced it to kind of a hideout play in football where someone just kind of gets lost over by the sideline, they snap the ball, and they're, down the field wide open. Kind of that kind of thing where he just kind of got lost over there on the baseline, pops out in the corner, and bam. Huge play. That was as big or maybe even bigger than the elbow shot or the, wherever you want to call it, at the intersection of the free throw line and just inside the three-point line at 54 seconds. That was a big moment, too. His rebound following that. You don't win that game last night without Boogie Flan. There's no question about it.
I kind of like some of the stuff I saw to Adu, too. He had
12 minutes.
2 dunks. I mean,
inching up in his participation last night.
Did not get, if we would have bet on his 15 or more minutes, he would not have.
But it was more than he's been getting, slightly, So I still, I've said for 2 weeks now. I've been preaching the fact that you haven't seen this team until you've seen it with a healthy Brazil, who played almost 20 last night and started the game. But till Adu and Brazil are 100% and playing normal minutes, I don't think we know anything about what this team's potential is.
Here's what Cal said about Jonas Adu last night.
Jonas played well. He got a little tired. So when the guy spins and scores on him, he's only started playing how many days ago? 5 days ago. So he was out 5 months.
Hopefully he gets his feet back under him soon again. We're less than a month out from conference play beginning against Tennessee, or right at, I should say less than a month out, probably right at a month if I remember that right. Hacker and Harrison, Tommy, says Miami did get their best player back last night in Nigel Pack, who ended up torching Arkansas for 22 points. He was 9 of 16 for the field, so he feels like with him not being there for the other losses that they could be better with him. And I think we saw last night he definitely isn't helping. He was not fully healthy. That kid was gutting it out last night and was knocking down big shot after big shot. All right, that is your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush daily question. If you haven't been by the #1 indoor golf facility in all of Arkansas, it's starting to get colder nowadays. I know we had some great weather for a good chunk of time, but now especially in northwest Arkansas, it's a little chilly outside, but maybe you still want to play golf. Maybe you just want to go to a place to hang out with friends or family. Maybe it's a corporate event that you need to plan that you've blanked on. Like it's December 4th and you still haven't planned the Christmas party. Well, then check out Cart Pass Social, cartpasssocial.com, 122 Grant Place in Lowell. You give them a call at 479-487-3622. BYOB, bring your own food, bring your own drink, and have a good time with over 500 golf courses to choose from at cartpasssocial.com. Speaking of Christmas party,
I forgot to ask you, how was the turkey? You were responsible for turkey. You got it from Art's Barbecue for Thanksgiving. Was the family pleased? Did you deliver on your assignment? How was the turkey for
Two thumbs up. Wade Morgan from every family member,
Yeah.
every single, even the youngsters.
Now you did the smoked turkey?
Mm-hmm. Yes, the large one.
Yeah. Well, it all worked out.
Oh, yeah.
You
Two
didn't
thumbs
dry
up.
it out, heating it up or anything?
No, I literally just handed the turkey to my parents and said, "Don't screw this up."
Don't screw this.
Well,
I did my part.
I was in there
brought it.
yesterday, and they were wondering, and I said, "Well, he's still alive, so I guess everything went good." But they reminded me that if you need to get on the list for Christmas, they're doing the full bundle for Christmas, like $225. You get the turkey, you get the sides, you get pies, you get everything that you need for your Christmas holiday feast. And they got prime ribs and tenderloins and pork roast and other things too. But if you're thinking about Christmas meals already, or man, it was a whole lot of work for Thanksgiving, let Arts do the work for Christmas. I'm glad it worked out. You didn't dry it out, and
didn't dry it out. Arts
everybody
Barbecue.
was happy. So Arts Barbecue, 452-2550. There's not as much time as you think. What is Christmas is 3 weeks from today? I think that's right. Yeah. 3 weeks from today.
11, 18, 25. Yep.
Yeah. 3 weeks from today. 452-2550 for Arts Barbecue.
Brent's in Searcy this morning. He had some thoughts on last night in Miami. Brent, go ahead.
I just want you to know, I'm excited about this basketball team. Just think how they can. I don't know how much scrimmage time you can get now this time of year, but if we stay healthy, Adu showed me a lot last night. He had 2 really good dunks and played well the minutes he was in there. Boogie just keeps doing boogie things, just keep boogieing, and I think we're going to be just fine when January comes around. And the SEC, we just dominated the challenge last night, didn't we?
Yeah, Kentucky's the only team that lost, which is just
perfect,
incredible. Yeah,
incredible. Well, Ty, nice sweater.
Thanks, man. Thanks. It's
nice.
Christmas sweater.
It's
It's
like
my,
his coat of many colors.
it's my late grandpa's old
That's right.
Tommy Hilfiger sweater that he used to wear back in the day. My grandma was like, "I'm not giving this to Goodwill. You wear it." And I was
See
like,
the one he was wearing yesterday?
and there's plenty of them. Got a lot of sweaters, Brent.
Y'all have a good day.
You too, buddy. Hey, that's a great reminder. You can always watch Tommy, myself, Chuck and Bo, Halftime, Ruskin and Zach on our video stream, YouTube, X, Facebook. Do you call it X? I still call it Twitter. I say X, and then also Twitch too. It's just it's hard to do that. Hey, there one thing we haven't mentioned so far. Chris Lowe, ESPN.com, reporting. We're 49 minutes in. Probably should have mentioned in the first 50 minutes or so. Bobby Petrino has withdrawn his name from consideration from the Charlotte head coaching job. Sources tell ESPN and Chris Lowe. I don't know. I would think that's a good thing for Arkansas. I don't know how much of that's going to impact the guys that are already considering into the portal, if they were wavering because they're thinking, oh, their OC is potentially leaving to take a head coaching job. But I would think it would do more help
You're
than
making
harm.
assumptions. I mean, is Malachi Singleton going to come back now?
No,
Probably
but that's
not,
a backup. I'm thinking more guys that were like in starting roles and whatnot. You don't seem.
Well, I mean, you're making an assumption that guys are thinking about leaving that we haven't talked to. So
Well, I think it's if you're in lockstep and if you follow these guys throughout the season, like even when it wasn't always going great, they seem to have a great admiration and a great respect for Bobby Petrino. And we saw it play on the field. It didn't always work, but unless that was just crap, then I would guess that the OC that they apparently respect coming back would be a good thing when it comes to guys that are.
But I don't know how many were waffling or thinking about. That's just a wild guess would be my point. I think the bigger deal is later today. Have they announced? I know we got a note from the university that coach was going to be available sometime after noon today, and it was, in that communication, it was based on kind of how the surgery and things went yesterday. I find it amazing he's going to be available to talk about National Signing Day
afternoon.
Sometime. You just said afternoon, not like afternoon, like after. NOON. So sometime today we're going to hear from the head hog. To me, that's far more interesting. Is Petrino coming back a big deal? Yes. Could someone else want him to be an OC elsewhere? Potentially. This is going to be fluid. And the dominoes haven't even begun to fall yet. I saw Michigan fired their OC and quarterback coach. Saw that on the crawl this morning. So, some things like that are starting to happen. More will happen following championship games. Right now, ADs have to be concerned about a couple of things. Rev share and how we make all this work in our budget. And I bet, if you're going to stick and stay with coaches, that's probably already been decided, number one. And number two, you've got to get through, some of this timing and what's going on with National Signing Day. So I don't think a lot of moves with staffs are going to be made till the portal at least opens.
And I don't have the exact timeline in front of me, but it should be noted before Petrino became the offensive coordinator for Jimbo at Texas A&M, he was Barry Odom's offensive coordinator at UNLV, and then 2 weeks later he goes going to College Station. So just because he's withdrawn from that job doesn't mean that if another one pops up, like you're saying, from a domino effect, that he wouldn't be pursued or wouldn't try and get his agent to pursue it.
All right, brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. The best brands and the best prices, and always a lifetime warranty on every new RV they sell at Wheels RV. Chris and Lee J, good buddies of the show, but great folks that you get to deal with all the time. They're the owners. They're there every day. So, the problems or issues or questions or anything that ever comes up, you can go, the buck stops with them. They're right there. I think that's comforting as a customer at Wheels RV. 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Let's talk some recruiting on National Signing Day with Richard Davenport next.
Craft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is Robert, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
I should say it?
Say what?
Mom, I think he wants to say that it's Christmas time.
Okay, you can say it.
It's Christmas, everyone, and guess what, guys?
What?
Santa shop's here at the Stadium Shop.
Oh, Lord, Mom, here comes that dad side.
Nope, I saw him, Matt. You still do believe in Santa, right?
Sure. Believers do get more presents.
Okay, so what did he get?
Let me guess. A couch for the elves, collars for the reindeer, maybe even a hoodie for Frosty. You know how cold he gets being made of snow and all.
And let me guess, some Razorback jewelry for Mrs. Claus?
Well, yeah, Matt, you better get that Google machine all warmed up. He said he was going to be ordering some more stuff.
Google machine? Yeah, you know, the Interfacegram WW.
I think he's talking about our website, which you should know by now, Dad. It's shoponrazorback.com.
Or have Santa give us a call at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
So come by 989 South Razorback Road in Fayetteville, and you just might catch Santa Hog.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Ho, ho, ho.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
When you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. But you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local convenience store today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Doubt you thought paint was anything like football, right? So you've got a favorite football team. Your painting team at the paint store in Van Buren gets you a solid primer, the perfect color, and a durable defense. That is what you want, right? Our team of Richard's paint and expertise always win for you. Whether contractor or do-it-yourself, we have the best team. The paint store in Van Buren. Go Hogs!
Are you ready to work for one of the area's premier companies? If so, Forsgren wants to offer you a rewarding new career. Forsgren has been building the foundation of the River Valley for over 80 years. Forsgren is recruiting for experienced concrete finishers, equipment operators, truck drivers, and laborers. Forsgren is a destination point for men and women with a drive toward excellence. Join the Forsgren legacy. Apply now on any device, anywhere at goforsgren.com. That's goforsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster, and in the past decade as a roofing contractor. He knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
Remember the classic Massey Ferguson tractors, straightforward, dependable, tough as nails, and easy to run? It's those classic models that inspired the Massey Ferguson 2600H series, as durable and reliable as the classics, with up to 74 horsepower and more comfort so you can work harder. The Massey Ferguson 2600H series. It's everything you want and need in a tractor. See one at Bush Machine and Tractor Company or visit bushtractor.com to learn more.
At Arvest Bank, we believe in the power of serving others. That's why we're committed to working with and supporting those who serve our communities. From the ones who are making a difference in big and small ways every day, to those who are helping create better tomorrows. We appreciate everything you do, and we're proud to work alongside you. Because every community deserves a financial partner who cares. Arvest Bank. We believe.
'Tis the season for Hardee's handcrafted goodness. Made from scratch buttermilk biscuits pulled fresh from the oven. The return of special traditions like salty sweet candied bacon. And faithful friends like Hardee's cinnamon raisin biscuits gathered near to us and served all day, all season long. From icing drizzled biscuits to savory charbroiled burgers, unwrap the holiday goodness of Hardee's. And now enjoy breakfast till noon. Available for limited time at participating locations. Items may vary.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we should see sunny to partly cloudy skies. A high this afternoon into the upper 50s north. Chance of a little rain south. Highs in the low 50s. Clear. Overnight lows in the low to mid 30s overnight. And it looks like we'll see sunshine highs in the upper 30s north, upper 40s south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. You're listening to The Morning Rush on ESPN 95.3. KERX Paris Fort Smith.
I'm hairy everywhere else except my face.
This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light, brewed with the best barley, rice, water, and hops to be America's favorite light beer. Bud Light, please drink responsibly.
We're behind most teams. We are, and I get it. But let's see where we are in January. Let's see where we are in February. Let's see. I know there's a lot of happy people thinking we're not very good. I'm like, sometimes I'm one of them, but we'll see.
This is the Morning Rush.
Hour number 2 here on a What's Your Beef Wednesday. It was a beef for a good chunk of people learning about this basketball team. They get a road victory last night in Coral Gables. College football playoff rankings out. We're in the midst of National Signing Day this morning. A lot to discuss with our friend Richard Davenport coming up in just a sec.
What's Your Beef Wednesday, brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. From prime rib to pork crown roast, beef tenderloin, fresh fish, and more. Richard's has all the best meats for your holiday feast. Don't forget the sides, the deli trays, the homemade desserts, pies, cookies, banana pudding. It's all there for you. And they can even curbside deliver when you call ahead. 479-443-0000 or visit online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com or stop in and see them at 3042 North Market Avenue in Fayetteville, just off of College. Looking here at the Bet Saracen app before we get to Richard. I know a lot of people are thinking about National Signing Day, portal, what's going on with coach and all that, but all the games for this weekend are up. And you'll see all the college football championship games, plus a lot of college basketball on there as well. So you're looking for that. I was looking here for the football specials for this weekend, and I think you're going to see a lot of fun lines this weekend. You've got UNLV. I was mentioning that game. Then with Boise State, 4-point line with Boise State favored by 4. You've got Iowa State and Arizona State. That's a 2-point line with Arizona State favored. So all of the lines are there as well. I was looking here, Georgia and Texas. Have you seen the line yet?
I have not. What is it?
What do you guess it?
Texas was favored by like 5 or so in Austin. So I'm going to say Georgia's favored in Athens. What is that? East?
Yeah,
West?
yeah,
Athens East,
kinda.
wherever Atlanta is. So I'm going to say Georgia's like a 4-point favorite.
Texas is a 2.5-point favorite.
Wow. So I understand them being favorites at home, but they're favored in Athens Part 2. That's
last one here before we get to Richard. Clemson and SMU. What's the line on that one?
Clemson by 3.
Red and those guys are going to be underdogs.
You say SMU's the underdog?
Yeah, right.
SMU's favored by 2.5.
That's
wow.
Yeah.
We had a text it earlier. JT's beef is that he still can't root for SMU based on that bogus pass interference call in, what was it, 82 or 83? I don't remember what it was, but hey.
You haven't downloaded the Bet Saracen app, do that. There's not just lines and overs, unders, but there's other live betting as well.
You got 2 Arkansas connections, one that grew up here, another that was coaching here in Barry Odom. So I'm honestly, and not that I don't like Boise State and Ashton Genty because he's been awesome, but wouldn't be unhappy at all if both Barry Odom and Rhett Lashley won their games this weekend. Also, never unhappy when we talk with our friend Richard Davenport. Richard, I want to start with Grayson Wilson, in-state kid, formerly of CAC and Conway. Now he's going to be an Arkansas Razorback. You wrote a quick story about him and what he's going to get to experience in New York coming up, and I wonder if you could share our audience with it a little bit.
Yeah, he's going to play in the U.S. Army All-American game in Frisco, Texas at the Star, in the Dallas Cowboy workout facility, and I guess indoor stadium. It seats 15,000. But he was one of 5 guys that they selected to go to New York City to promote the game, and I thought that really said a lot about Grayson. If you know Grayson, he's such a mature young man, and just a natural leader, but a very humble kid who really impressed the U.S. Army officials, people that worked the combine. It was about a year ago he went and he was the MVP of that. That's how he got the invite to the game. But they were just kind of blown away by his maturity, his poise, just the way he carried himself, and his ability to really learn on the fly, because at the combine, they had like I think 6 or 7 different stations that they had to go to, and they learned a different package every time, and then they evidently just picked everything up with ease, and so it's a big honor to be one of the 5 of the 80 guys playing in the game to be selected to go to New York City and promote the event.
So we were discussing earlier, like, more important, what do you care about more, portal or high school? And we had a bunch of texts about portal. Richard, Arkansas got 2 portal comebacks, I guess you could say, in Cam Ball and Xavier Sora. And I guess Rodney Hill also tweeted out something that he wasn't planning ever on leaving. And then Malachi Singleton, according to reports, plans on entering the portal. How much more time are you having to invest in just guys currently on the roster and looking at other guys in college ranks when it comes to recruiting nowadays?
Yeah, it's definitely it's more on the plate. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I mean, obviously the coaches they get the brunt of that. I get the easy part of doing the reporting of it. But if you look at this year's roster, and I'm not looking at it. I haven't broke it down, but I kind of scanned over it a little bit. Probably about half the guys that starters, it could be off a little bit, but half are high school kids and half are portal guys. And so you have to. I mean, to me, I know a lot of people don't just focus on the portal, but put a more emphasis on the portal, and I get that. But a lot of your culture comes from your 3-4 year guys that you signed out of high school that have been in your program for a while. They help create the culture, and the portal guys have to come in and adapt to that or kind of add to that. And so it's, to me, I know some people don't look at the high school prospects as heavily as they might do the portal kids, because sometimes a lot of times the high school kids take 2 or 3 years to develop. But same time, if you look at the roster, Cam Ball, he was a signee. Eric Gregory, he was a signee. Brad Spence, he was a signee from high school, and several of the DBs. So, and then obviously on offense. So both, to me, have equal importance to the programs when you break everything down.
Richard Davenport with us, talking recruiting, National Signing Day. For those that are following along and know that it's very unusual that a coach would have hip replacement surgery, the day before National Signing Day, and be going through this. In your mind, do you see where this is going to affect anything? What would a head coach normally be doing in the 48 to 72 hours ahead of a day like this? Is there any effect by him getting that hip repaired and replaced yesterday?
No, I don't think so. I, if I'm not mistaken, he had a knee replacement not too long ago, and he was out recruiting not too long after that. And thank God I haven't had to deal with a knee replacement or a hip replacement. But people I've talked to say hip replacements are easier to recover from and rehab from, and are not as difficult as knee replacements. Which to me, I would have thought the opposite. But I've talked to some people that had a hip replacement versus a knee, and that's what I hear, that the hip's much easier to overcome. Now, each person's different, but I don't anticipate him missing a beat. He may be a little slower getting around for the first few weeks, but he's going to be obviously on the recruiting trail when the live period starts next week, and then he'll be doing his usual stuff on official visits.
So what do you think about the timing of how we've moved up signing day? It hung out kind of around the 18th to the 20th was kind of that early signing period. What do you think about how they've adjusted the timing of all of this?
Well, you remember the first few years of when they had the early signing period, and like you said, it was like the third Wednesday of December. and coaches in schools were complaining, especially when they had a coaching change, how difficult it was to put a class together. Well, now you make a change, even say you make a change last week, it's impossible to put a class together in there for the early signing period. I'm not going to say impossible, but it's much, much more challenging because you're really not able to get anybody on campus because the dead period starts the 2nd through the 9th of December. So you're trying to build a staff and trying to recruit at the same time. Your success of the early signing period being moved up is been diminished tremendously. So what you have to do is hope that there's still some diamonds in the rough that didn't sign in the early signing period, and you can focus on in February. But there's no doubt. It's going to be interesting to watch this cycle of coaches that, schools that have coaching changes go through this and see how their high school classes are versus in the past, where even then that it was a challenge, but now it's almost an impossibility to put a class together because of now it's the first Wednesday of December. So it's going to be really something to really focus on is the schools that made changes and see what their high school class looks like after February signing date.
Or do we see, and I don't know how many changes we're going to see with rev share and all these other factors, but or do we see ADs have kept their powder dry and the changes come next week, after championship?
Go ahead.
So
I interrupted. Sorry.
No,
keep on.
No, I just wondered, are ADs, knowing everything you just said, which is correct, keeping their powder dry till this is behind them? I just don't think there's going to be a lot of movement and coaching changes just because of the unknown with rev share.
Because of what now?
Revenue sharing and the
the
business model having to change so dramatically. I think the patience grows longer with coaches that aren't performing to expectations.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right, because they got to come up with that $21 million of revenue sharing money. And then if you have a coach that has a $20-30 million buyout, you're basically looking at $50 million right there in coaching, in money that you have to account for. So that's another challenge that you're seeing with ADs and making changes. Now, if you have a coach that has a low buyout, I mean, it's maybe not as difficult, but still, all the things that are going on with revenue sharing, and the ADs are going to have to probably cut personnel and maybe some sports to come up with that $20 million. That's going to be the challenge. It's going to be interesting. I guess in the spring, summer, see how all this plays out. As far as schools starting to, you start seeing schools lay off or reduce sports, and plus they're coming up. They're having to come up with another 100 scholarships and the money to do that. And I was asking somebody the other day about that, and I'm just guessing based on this person who has a pretty good idea how much scholarships and all that run per athlete, and you're probably looking anywhere from $7 to $10, $12 million depending on the school. So that's another expense that you have to cover. So uncertain times with ADs and how they want to do. I guess what you say is a new business model, and figure out when you make changes and you can't.
Well, Richard is our blue chip 5-star equivalent, and I know you got to get back to the proverbial typewriter. But Rich, before we let you go, anything else noteworthy you think our audience needs to know here on National Signing Day when it comes to Arkansas football?
There could be a surprise or two today. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But the good news is, a lot of people were concerned about Tavian Wallace, the 4-star linebacker from Georgia. He reconfirmed, and he's signing with Arkansas. So Georgia and Florida State came in and was trying to flip him at the last second, but that was huge. He was the highest rated prospect and a guy that if these things are true or accurate as far as these websites that can say high school athletes or even college athletes how fast they can run during a certain play or whatever. He's been timed at 22 miles an hour, and he's a linebacker. So that's insane. So that was a big deal today for him to reconfirm and sign with Arkansas.
Richard, we'll leave it there, man. I know you got a lot of work to do, so we'll let you get to it. Appreciate you giving us an update here on National Signing Day.
Sounds good. See you guys.
All right, Richard Davenport with us here on a big Wednesday with National Signing Day. It's brought to you by Modular Orange. You know, your website, it's like having electric. It's like having internet. It's like having water running to your business. If you don't have a website, you've got a key component for your business that is clearly missing. Well, how can I do it? I don't know how. Is it expensive? Can I afford it? Well, let's answer some of those questions. Modular Orange can write, design, create, host, secure, turnkey everything you need for your website for $95 a month. No upfront costs. Have you been ripped off before? They're not going to ask you for a bunch of upfront money or additional fees. It's $95 a month, and you can focus on running your business and let Modular Orange focus on building you a great website. 479-755-3043. See examples of their work and what I'm talking about at modularorange.com. $95 a month for your website from Modular Orange.
Gavin texting, and I was wondering what this was going to come up. Why Arkansas did not offer Cash Archer, who is headed to Conway to play for Coach Nathan Brown and UCA. And it's not exactly what Kane said. He wonders why. Kane said he would go to wherever his brother was offered. That's not entirely correct, Gavin. I'm forgetting the entire context. That's not even a paraphrase. I'm forgetting exactly what Kane said. But that is something to monitor when it comes to Kane's recruitment for next year. Is his brother's not going too far down the road to Conway, but when it comes to the possibility of going to Arkansas or not.
And players come from FCS levels and schools like UCA and get to a Power 5 level. He is a tremendous high school player, but he was offered by UCA, accepted it. And I don't think we should tie the two, even though, and he's the older brother, shouldn't tie their recruitment necessarily together. It's two different things. And, he moved to linebacker this year, and they were hoping maybe that would be the thing that caught the attention. He's undersized probably a little bit at defensive end, but he may not be done growing either. So I look forward to him having a good career at the next level and watching, a homegrown product, see how that works out for him. And maybe there is an opportunity through the portal down the road.
Yeah, both in the state championship this week as they take on the Shiloh Christian Saints. Help me on this. It's Benville and Bryant.
In the 7A.
Yeah, in the 7A.
Greenwood Shiloh.
Yeah.
5A is Little Rock Parkview. And Tom Tice and the
Farmington Cardinals. What a comeback they had last weekend. So those are some.
And the 2A game, forgive me. It's,
I had them. I had them on the last rundown on Monday.
Huh?
Is it Mansfield?
No, Mansfield's in the quarterfinals. They're in the 3A semi.
Yeah.
Thank you for correcting me. Semifinals. They host this
weekend.
weekend.
This is what I get for not
Southside
taking the.
Baseballs also host, or they're playing this weekend, and there's semifinals in the 3 and the 4A. Championship games at 8-man on Thursday. The 2A and the 5A are on Friday, and then the 6A and 7A are on Saturday. So you can, if you don't go, and I was looking Saturday's weather is going to be like awesome, like 55. I mean, for December, 55 degrees.
What time's
sunny.
the basketball team play? TSA or whatever, whoever they're playing on.
If you're going to the game, I think the daytime weather is going to be really nice for the noon game, and then it's 6:30 on Saturday for the 7A final.
Basketball team plays at 1 o'clock that day, so you'll have some people who will choose one or the other. And I say one of the, they're going to choose that their son or daughter's on the cheerleading team or their son's on the football team. They're going to go to the state championship game at Little Rock and not the basketball game at 1 o'clock.
So if you're going down I-40 to Little Rock, you can stop in at Andy's Frozen Custards. There's 2 locations in Conway. There's one in Fort Smith, and they're also in North Little Rock on JFK. So however you're headed there's going to be an Andy's nearby. It's perfect for your tailgate. The 6-pack, the mix and match of 6 of your favorite flavors, be perfect for tailgating at the championship games this weekend and get by and see our friends at Andy's Frozen Custard.
Hey, by the way, Tommy, it's Rockefeller Center Christmas tree lighting day, where you're going to be next week.
I looked up yesterday on Google Maps. It's
beautiful.
It's like 0.3 of a mile from my hotel.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's short. I've got a little bit further walk to Madison Square Garden, like less than a mile from Times Square. So I'm kind of right in the heart of everything.
When you're 8 years old, like I was, and you see that for the first time, it was so unique. I felt like Kevin from Home Alone as I'm walking around in there. I did have this question, though. When you see the way, was New York just, like when you had did you have a choice between Miami and New York? Were you debating on one or the other, or was it always New York?
The debate was whether I do both.
Okay. I didn't know if there was.
Schedule just didn't allow.
Just didn't allow for that. That was the question I had when we were talking with, again, Dave O'Brien this morning, whose home is in Boston, where it's 31 degrees right now, and I haven't looked up New York's weather, but I'm going to assume it's around the same.
It's not going to be warm next week.
Is next week going to be? Is it going to be snowing, or is it?
I hope so.
That would be cool, just from a scenic standpoint. MSG it's remarkable. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's the best basketball facility that I've ever been to, and I've been to Allen Fieldhouse, been to Hinkle Fieldhouse, but it's the mecca of basketball.
It can't be the best, though, because it's not new. I mean, it's maybe historic, from all of those standpoints.
The new stuff to me is not, and we were talking to Dave about Fenway. We went to the Chase Center in 2021, the Golden State Warriors new, and it was incredible. And I know that Eric Musselman, when he was here, was kind of looking at that and hoping they would do some renovations in Bud Walton similar. Even though I'm 29, I'm an old school guy at heart. Like, I like old school stuff. I don't like this new fancy mumbo jumbo crap that they have where Cokes cost $12 and to pay for the facility and everything. I like the old school facilities when I'm going to a sporting event.
If I get there Sunday to Manhattan, 49 and sunny on Sunday, 52 and sunny on Monday. Tuesday, which is game day, 61 degrees with a chance of rain, and then Wednesday, 58 when I fly home. So, that's good December weather in New York City. Won't be miserably cold.
No, so. It might not be that. All right, we got our SEC update coming up. We were talking earlier. SEC, with the exception of Kentucky, went undefeated last night. Luckily, the Wildcats lost. So we'll chat about that coming up in just a bit.
Did our Pratco Pyramid of Power yesterday. I want to remind you, LureNet.com's got all the holiday savings. Fishing lures make the perfect stocking stuffer for the angler on your list, so be sure and get to LureNet.com for all the deals they've got there, or stop by Academy, Bass Pro Shops, or your favorite local tackle stores everywhere, Walmart included, to get your favorite stuff from Pradco and LureNet.com. Friday, we'll do our Fenceman Friday picks. We'll get that in a little after 9. We don't have last week's tape to see how we did because we didn't get to do the Fenceman Friday
Bummer.
On Black Friday. So I bet we'd have done really well, though. We probably would have got them all right.
Relative to every other.
So anything you need involving fencing, gates, powered automatic gates, privacy fence for your home, fence repairs, they do it at the Fence Man. 782-3936. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work.
More of the Morning Rush on What's Your Beef Wednesday next.
What's Your Beef Wednesday is brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. Online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're needing a used car, we've got them. Everything from the most affordable cash cars to road-ready certified with warranty. The best used cars your money can buy. And we've got a finance option for everyone, whether you have great credit and you're looking for the best rate or you're needing to build your credit with a reputable lender. We've got you. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath.
Hanging with Danny Cobb at American Welding Laboratories. Danny, tell us about the school.
Well, Tommy, we're going on 3 years in operation. We teach all aspects of welding, from stick welding all the way to combination pipe.
So how's the job market these days?
Job market's wide open, whether you want to stay local or hit the road. As a licensed institution, we have access to many grants, including the GI Bill now.
Great. How do we get started?
Come by 4400 South 16th, take a tour, talk to our instructors.
It's American Welding Laboratories. Find out more at theweldinglab.com.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you.
On ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit, is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, and college basketball, NHL to UFC. Head to BetOnline today and don't forget to use the promo code BELIEVE for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive into Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
On
ESPNAuto.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Except we've got SEC bias. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC has got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. Trusted pool experts and your source for backyard fun. Locations in Springdale, Fort Smith, and now in Greenland. Always online at burtonpools.com.
The SEC went 9-1 last night in the first night of the SEC or ACC SEC Challenge, partially due to Boogie Flan.
Loose ball. Thero picks it up. Boogie's open in the corner. Flan for three. It's good. And Arkansas leads.
They get the win 76-73 last night in Coral Gables. Here's Boogie after the game and feel like he's just scratching the surface.
Most definitely, it's a long season. We're trying to find our groove. You know, what is this, game number 8? But still a long season to go. I feel like you said, just scratching the surface, you know, staying confident out there. You know, when the shot's not falling, what else can you do? But just keep shooting.
Cal had plenty of thoughts after the game. You can always listen to him right here on ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and our Hit That Line Now app. We also have the press conferences via our Hit That Line YouTube and on hitthatline.com. When it came to talking about his team, here's what he said.
We haven't figured all this out. I haven't figured out this team yet. But I will tell you that when you win these kind of games, it bodes well. And I told him, I said, if you played like you did in the second half, where I demanded it, let's put it that way, we may have won all the games. And you know what? Then I wouldn't have their attention. They wouldn't listen to me. They'd look at me like I'm crazy. Now at least they're listening.
So again, Kentucky's the only team that lost last night. They lose on the road at Clemson 70-66. Every other Southeastern Conference team won. Big one tonight, Tommy, is Duke hosting number 2 Auburn. And Janai Brome and Bruce Pearl. That is must-see TV for me later on tonight.
Yeah, and, it's really cool that, now that college football's regular season is over and we got a big Friday and Saturday coming up for that, and the pros will start dominating a little bit of the weekend.
Yep.
There's some really meaty college basketball that really gets you interested. I don't think we get fully immersed until conference season starts, but there's enough, and there's enough interest with Cal being your coach and the attention your program's being paid. But, can this team win against Michigan? Can they beat UT San Antonio, which they should, at home, and somehow get themselves back in the top 25? Because the loss to Illinois knocked them from 19 to out of the poll. And I think as Razorback fans, it's not unreasonable to expect to have a ranked program right now with the talent you have, the coach you have. They got to earn their way back into that after falling out following the Illinois loss. Last night's win's not going to be enough to do that.
It's good to see John L. Davis knock down some threes last night. He's 4 of 7 from the field, including 3 of 6 from the three-point line for 12 points. Also, he's a really good rebounder. Had 5 rebounds last night. He's not the biggest guy out there consistently, but I feel like he's always got his nose around the basketball when it comes to getting him off the glass. College football playoff rankings came out last night simultaneously during the Arkansas basketball game. Oregon's at 1, Texas is at 2, Penn State at 3, Notre Dame at 4, Georgia's at 5, Ohio State's at 6, Tennessee at 7, SMU at 8, Indiana at 9, Boise State at 10. Now here's where it gets interesting. Alabama at 11, Miami at 12. I know people like myself a little disappointed. I personally think South Carolina should have been there, but branding stays when is it Ward or Wade, the college football playoff head of it?
I thought it was Wade.
Okay. Well, he gets asked about why Alabama above Miami. Here was the answer.
What it came down to is as we evaluated both teams and looked at how they rank, obviously we think highly of both teams. One's at 11, one's at 12. But what it really came down to is Alabama is 3-1 against current top 25 teams, and Miami is 0-1. Alabama is 6-1 against teams above 500, and Miami's 4-2. Both have had some losses that weren't what they wanted out of those games. But in the last 3 games, Miami has lost twice. And so for us, in evaluating their body of work, we felt that Alabama got the edge over Miami.
Anything about that sound unreasonable? I think that that's solid footing.
I don't think it's a Miami versus Alabama debate, to be frank. By the way, Syracuse says no. We kind of did a disservice to the Orangemen. They have 9 wins.
Well, they're 22nd in this poll.
Yeah, that's not a bad.
You can't. The point yesterday in the comment was Miami can't lose that game and expect to be in the playoffs.
Yes, I just think
the music has stopped. At least it's paused.
I would put
the music is paused, and you don't have a seat.
Yeah, just to me, and I know Ole Miss losing at home, Kentucky's bad because they're terrible this year, and they should have beat LSU late. That doesn't look good. But Ole Miss lost a tight game against Florida. They lost a tight game against LSU and a tight game against Kentucky.
None of those are
Alabama. Yeah, correct. But neither is Oklahoma. Alabama went to Norman and got abused 2 weeks ago in that game. Just got throttled earlier this season. You look at, I know they came back and beat Georgia, but they lost on the road in Nashville to Vanderbilt, to a team that I like Vanderbilt, Clark Lee's doing, but they barely made a bowl this season. Then they lost to Taiwan. I just think I would take South Carolina or Ole Miss before I would take Alabama.
I think that's your hatred for Alabama kind of.
No, there's a respect level, but I think there's several different things. It's just a brand thing. And I get where people are coming from. You want the best teams in, but to me, Alabama's not one of the best 12 teams in college football.
You love to play devil's advocate. I'll go back to the argument yesterday: South Carolina, Alabama. How do you explain away the head-to-head matchup? How do you ignore that?
No, it's hard to overcome that if you're Shane Beamer, and he doesn't. He not only can't do it against Kalen DeBoer, but he can't do it against Lane Kiffin either because he lost them both.
Right. So I mean, you've got that to me is the most damning evidence. And to me, if the scales are almost even, that's what tips the scale in favor of Bama.
Would have loved to see Alabama Ole Miss post Nick Saban, but we didn't get a chance to see
Essentially,
that.
what he told you there is Alabama's wins are better than the ones we're comparing them to put them in at 11. It's not like they put them in at 2 or 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
11.
Yeah, I don't think the comparison is Miami, Alabama. I think it's Miami. We're going to see how it goes. And listen, we were up in arms when Ohio State got in 2014. What they do? They went on to win the national championship.
By the way, did they drop enough after a loss to Michigan at home?
What number do they have?
Dropped to what? To number, is it 8? Number 8?
6.
6? They dropped 4 spots.
Yeah. They will host Tennessee in the current.
Well, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. But was that far of enough of a drop? You lost on your home field? I know it's a rivalry.
But a terrible Michigan team, to
a
your
team
point.
that fired their OC quarterback coach following their biggest win of the year.
That's a good point. I don't disagree one bit with you.
So did Ohio State get a little love because of brand name? I don't know. All right, SEC update brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. If you're feeling stressed out and ready for a break, unwind with a de-stress for less hot tub sale at Burton Pools and Spas. Up to $7,000 in discounts on the world's best-selling hot tubs designed to rejuvenate your body and your mind. They'll deliver it for free. They'll install it, and they'll give you free water testing when you buy right now at Burton Pools and Spas so that you can enjoy, before the new year, pure relaxation in your hot tub from Burton Pools and Spas. Find them in Fort Smith. They're in Greenland, also in Springdale, and always online at burtonpools.com. We mentioned your sweater earlier. You said that's your grandfather's sweater?
Grandfather's sweater, yes.
It's, welcome to, it's almost like a coat of many colors. It's like a Jacob
I look like Mr. Rogers.
A little bit, but.
This is something Mr. Rogers
I was
going
to say, did you, I didn't think you got that at Rainwaters is where I was headed with that, where you get your suit.
No, but I do need to go get a new button down for the Mercy Ball next week. I have to make sure bell of the ball. Yes. So I'm going to stop by and see Gail next week. One of our coworkers, Lance, just stopped by with his 2 sons that don't frequent as many weddings I do. And he's just like, I just want to rent, which you can do at Rainwaters. And you can stop by and see Gail anytime. He's been doing it forever. Him and his family, they've been a staple of the River Valley for quite some time. So if you need a suit to rent, need a suit to buy, or just something for a nice occasion, maybe not a full ensemble, maybe not a full suit, but you need to take advantage, you can stop by and see Gale and his team at Rainwaters, 9700 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, and rainwater-s.com if you want to kind of browse their inventory and whatnot. When you stop by and see him, make sure you tell him that I sent you, and you can ask him how many weddings I've been to over the last few years. He's helped me out with literally every single one of them. I do want to mention this. A recent survey from Wallet Hub found that nearly 50% of Americans are still paying off debt from last year's holidays. Does that seem high?
No, it seems low, actually.
It says it's double the percentage of the.
Well, I mean, everyone got a little more flush with cash through COVID, and then inflation's hit, and I'm sure your house, like mine, my electric bill's way up.
I just got my gas bill this morning.
First gas bill wasn't bad, but it's going to get worse. Groceries are ridiculous. So yeah, I mean, people have to lean on credit a little bit to get through it right now.
Also, another story: the Vatican has expelled a group of Texas nuns amid a year-long dispute between the sisters and another bishop after he accused their Reverend Mother of breaking their chastity vows with their online love affair. Any thoughts on that?
Online, huh?
Yeah, online, apparently. There was an interrogation, and it was a consensual long-distance phone relationship. And, again, the chastity vows that they took apparently were broken, and now they have expelled a group of Texas nuns.
Well, what are your thoughts? So you want my thoughts. What are your thoughts then, Ty?
I would just say I'm not set for the priesthood or taking one of those vows for anything. I just don't know how they do it at all whatsoever. That is just not a life for me. I just read these stories sometimes with people, I'm not just talking about on the religious side of things, but those that live differently from me from time to time. And I'm just trying to imagine, try to envision myself as what would my life, or how would I be able to do what these people do on a daily basis?
I don't really see how it's much different.
What, priesthood?
Celibacy.
Well, I mean, I was taught.
I just don't see a lot of difference if you want to know the truth.
Yeah. I'm assuming you were taught growing up that you're only supposed to do that during the sanctity of marriage. So it's probably a good thing that happens. But that is
taught a lot of things when I was growing up.
Didn't necessarily follow them in every case. But yeah, that's what's going on in with Texas nuns right now. And I know you wanted your Texas nun update, and I just wanted to give it to you here this morning as best as humanly possible here on National Cookie Day. And the Rockefeller
Would have told him
Center.
it's none of your business.
None of your business.
None of your business.
None of
There
your
you go.
business. National Cookie Day, chocolate chip or oatmeal raisin.
Chocolate chip. Oatmeal raisins down the list for me. Wouldn't even get in the 12-team playoff, the 12-cookie playoff. Probably wouldn't even make it there as well. APAC Arcola's got immediate openings in Northwest and North Central Arkansas. If you're looking for a great job with a great company, if you're looking for not a job but a career, APAC's got plenty of opportunity for you right now. You can go to jobs.crh.com and see all of the job openings there and where they're at on an interactive map and join their team with great pay, benefits, sign-on bonus, and great benefits that include profit sharing, retirement, and great insurance as well. That's jobs.crh.com. More to do before we wrap up here on a Wednesday. Your beefs, we're going to read some of those off the text line. You can send those in as well on a What's Your Beef Wednesday brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market. You know, a lot of times here at the holidays, you got a few extra days. Talking with someone yesterday who was burning up some vacation time and asked me about Gaston's. And they called, got some winter rates that are going on. Great time to stay at Gaston's. If you find yourself in that same situation, end of the year coming, you got 4, 5, 6, 10, whatever vacation days, spend a few of them at Gaston's. Right now, the fishing in the White River has been good because they're dumping water over the top at Norfolk, and that hadn't been great. And Gaston's is a great spot to go. Something to do for everyone in the family. Their own property, including the fishing, but including nature trails and walks, and they got the wildlife area. I think it's just really cool to watch the planes come and go on the grass strip runway that they got there as well. And a great restaurant that overlooks the White River. 870-431-5202 is their number, 870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
What's Your Beef Wednesday is brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. Online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
We got to show them we are the University of Arkansas.
This is Coach
On ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
one beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got puppies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite, white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, and college basketball, NHL to UFC. Head to BetOnline today and don't forget to use the promo code BELIEVE for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online. The game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive in Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
On ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now
Avenue in Fort Smith at the River Valley Smile Center. Check us out online at rivervalleysmiles.com or call 479-646-0706.
Finding your joy in cycling is the main goal at Champion Cycling. Champion Cycling takes pride in helping you find the right bike. Whether it's a road bike, mountain bike, or just a bike for leisure, Champion Cycling has a great selection of bikes, including brands like Specialized Surly and Salsa. Need service or repair? The friendly, professionally trained technicians will assess your bike's needs and provide you with a free, no-obligation estimate. Find your joy in cycling at Champion Cycling, 5500 Mazur Road in Fort Smith.
Fall is here, and that means cooler weather, football, and family, which makes it the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart, your family's #1 tire store. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top-quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is ready for anything fall brings your way. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Brands matter. This isn't about a meritocracy. It's a branditocracy. It's not equal. It's never designed to be equal. And these teams don't earn their positions. They're placed. The whole deal here is to get the most eyeballs and to make the most amount of money possible.
The two most important words to the College Football Playoff Committee have been roll tide.
This is the Morning Rush.
Yes, that is definitely a beef of mine that Alabama is going to another college football playoff. This time unearned. Years past, can't say that. This year, I don't think they earned it, but that's just my opinion. 877-377-6963. Christian's got our Pro Hog update coming up in just one sec.
Hey, glad you're here this morning. Call or text the show. We'll get your thoughts. Brought to you by Sassy's Barbecue, the original Red House on North College, a location just off the Weddington exit on Steamboat. Perfect for the holiday gatherings and the luncheons, even the catering you might need to pick up and take back home for. You got your friends coming over for a Christmas get together. You got your work parties, or maybe you're looking for a place for 8 or 10 or 12 of you to get together and have dinner one evening. Sassy's is always the perfect location for all of that. Sassy's original Red House on North College, Sassy's Barbecue and Grill, just off the Weddington exit on Steamboat Drive. Eat, drink, and be sassy.
Drake May takes a quick snapshot of the defense. Little shovel pass here to Henry. Henry up the gut. May steps up, completes. Henry. Kyrie inside. Put the hammer down was Gafford.
Council trying to bail him out. Oh,
Council's had a nice game so far.
Plenty of football and basketball. This big senior Pro Hog update this morning.
Yeah, we'll start with Hunter Henry. He had 7 catches for 75 yards, and the Patriots 25-24 loss to the Colts on Sunday. Didn't have a touchdown, but he's become a nice safety blanket for Drake May.
Yeah, Patriots are terrible this year. I feel bad for Hunter. He's like the lone bright spot on that offense consistently week in, week out.
Cam Little went 2 of 3 with a long of 33 on Sunday, and the Jaguars 23-20 loss to the Texans. That kick did prove costly, the one he missed, but it was from 55 yards out. Cam Curl had 2 solo tackles and assisted on a tackle, had a pass breakup in the Rams' 21-14 win over the Saints. John Ridgway III assisted on a tackle for the Saints defense. Jake Bates on Thanksgiving Day against the Bears went 3 of 4 with a long of 48 yards in the 23-20 win. The Bears completely botched that final drive. Did y'all see that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Matt
Management of the timeouts.
Oh.
I mean, and they took 30 seconds to run one play with to end the game. They fired him the next day.
Yeah.
It says all you need to know.
What was wild about that is they had a press conference for him, Tommy.
He said he wouldn't have done anything different.
Yeah.
And
then they fired him like an hour later. Here's the thing. I think Detroit, people were, not that Josh Allen and the Bills don't have a chance to maybe beat the Chiefs in the playoffs, but I kind of want to see Detroit and Kansas City for the Super Bowl. You got 3 Razorbacks on the team. You got the closest team to our neck of the woods. I think that'd be an awesome Super Bowl for our audience in the setup, because the Cowboys aren't going to do their part of the NFC when it comes to that. Not that they're America's team by any stretch of the imagination, but I think people really like that underdog story of Dan Campbell and where Detroit was and kind of where they are now.
Quite a bit to get to in the NBA. On Saturday, the Mavericks' Daniel Gafford, he had a double-double in the win over the Jazz. He had 14 points, 11 rebounds. On Sunday, he had 19 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists in the win over the Trailblazers. On Saturday, Ricky Council had 17 points in the win over the Pistons, and Bobby Portis had 9 points in the win over the Wizards. Nick Smith had 5 points in the loss to the Hawks. On Monday night, Jordan Walsh got a start for the Celtics in their blowout win over Miami. He played 13 minutes, did not score. Last night, Bobby Portis, 14 points in the win over the Pistons. Nick Smith had 7 points in the Hornets' loss to Ricky Council and the Sixers. Ricky Council had 2 points. Anthony Black had 6 points in the loss to the Knicks. And a big game for Isaiah Joe.
Ooh, yeah, he's on fire.
19 points in their win over the Jazz. Moses Moody had 13 points in the Warriors' loss to the Nuggets, and Daniel Gafford had 11 points in the Mavs' win over the Grizzlies.
Isaiah banged in 5 threes last night on 9 attempts. He's been prolific for the Thunder this year, who I think are league leading in the West right now, if I remember that right. So they are doing some really good things thus far in the NBA. That is your Pro Hogs update here this morning.
And it's brought to you by our friends at Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental. They're at the entrance to Riley Farms. If you want to get your teeth whitened, this is the place to go. Here's the number to make your appointment: 479-226-3500. Mention you heard it here on the Morning Rush on ESPN Arkansas. And at your next appointment, receive a free bleaching kit or $100 off in-office accelerated whitening. If you got someone on your holiday list that'd like to do this, or maybe you just like to get some staining off your teeth and make them look even better in those family photos, get $100 off accelerated in-office whitening or a free bleaching kit when you mention it, that you heard it here on the Morning Rush. 479-226-3500, 226-3500, or go to valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Arkansas wins last night in Miami, 76-73. Here's Cal after the game, just kind of where his team's at and maybe where people think it would be.
We're behind most teams. We are, and I get it. But let's see where we are in January. Let's see where we are in February. Let's see. I know there's a lot of happy people thinking we're not very good. I'm like, sometimes I'm one of them, but we'll see.
We had Dave O'Brien on this morning. Tommy, he was pretty emphatic that the SEC is the best basketball team in the league, didn't
they said that on the broadcast last night. They and I think so far it's bearing itself out.
I hope Kentucky's the only team that loses.
I hope you're right. It's been a What's Your Beef Wednesday brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. 479-443-0000. Everything you need for any of your holiday feast, from prime rib to pork crown roast, beef tenderloins, and more. They've got it all, plus the sides, the deli trays, and anything else you need, desserts as well. RichardsCountryMeatMarket.com, or stop in and see him at 3042 North Market Avenue in Fayetteville.
Halftime, Phil Elson, Matt Jones is next.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen.